Thank you so much for that introduction. 4 years ago, I was in the attic of my New Jersey home on a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon, packing up boxes for my big cross-country move to Asheville. Yeah, let's give it up for Asheville. It was slow going, though, I'll have to admit. For one thing, I didn't know what I would need in my new life. Does anyone really know? I just knew that the movers told me I had to cut in half the number of boxes I had in order to make my budget. Somehow those minimalist trends, Marie Kondo, fill 40 bags in 40 days, and Swedish death cleaning had all eluded me. I stared down 20 years of delayed decluttering. But like a spotlight of sun bursting through the clouds, I spotted a box that hadn't been opened since I moved 20 years ago. Whatever was in that box I hadn't needed, and it would likely not go with me on my next adventure. This was going to be an easy call. So I got my box cutter and split the tape, opened up the flaps to find a box full of stories. Yeah. Well, here's the magic 8 ball. That really is magic. In 1988, it predicted the Kentucky Derby, win, place, and show. And here's a faded family photo. My family, when we were still together, in our Easter finest. Oh, that yellow dress. And a brass whistle from when I coached junior high girls basketball. It was a disaster. But I got a full-time teaching job out of it. I remember at the interview, the principal said, "You got the job as long as you'll agree to coach the girls basketball team in January." Well, this was June, so how hard could that be? It was really hard. I'll tell you, it took half the season to convince these girls to spit out their gum. And this is just between you and me, okay? We lost a game one time by 100 points.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Oh, and here's the walking Lady Liberty silver dollar, 1922. My grandmother had given that to me. Oh, Pope soap on a rope, from when the Pope visited San Antonio. That was a big deal, really was. And I don't think that trinket was sanctioned by the Vatican, but everyone on my Christmas list got one that year. Pope soap on a rope, that's right. Not sanctioned by the Vatican. Oh, and here's a diary from my 20s, a particularly active time in my life where I moved a lot, took crazy jobs, and just fell in love at the drop of a hat, it seemed like. Oh, here's a book of poetry, an obituary. Tammy Cracklaw, we were fast friends in kindergarten. She died in a motorcycle accident in high school. And a singular rosebud from a yellow bouquet wrapped in the thinnest of tissue paper, still with the scent of memories. That scent that told me who I was, where I had been, and what mornings smelled like when I was fresh and wildly optimistic. Oh yeah, I dropped down that rabbit hole of memory and emotion phew, a treasure trove of items that collectively confirmed a life well lived. Why did I need that? I mean, it was my life, I lived it, but it was just nice to be remembered. And individually, each object held a story. Like the scars on my skin or the skeletons in my closet, one object contained multitudes. And that's the story I'm going to tell you now. I was 30 years old, living in Texas. My girlfriend's mom and I were sitting outside her single-wide trailer, dragging our chairs to keep pace with the drifting afternoon shade. The marks our chairs left in the dirt yard marked our time. 2 hours by the clock. Blue, my girlfriend, was inside the trailer visiting with her father, Donald Cochran III. Since his heart attack 10 years earlier, he didn't stray far from that plaid recliner. Surrounded with stacks of Louis L'Amour paperbacks. Okay, empty soda cans and an ashtray spilling over. Yeah, I preferred the outdoors and the company of Lucia, Blue's mom. She'd smoke her cigarettes, we'd drink beer, and shoot the shit. She'd fill me in on all the trailer park gossip. Who moved out, where they went, and why they left. Who was new to the trailer park, where they came from, and who their people were. She told me that Cherie had been playing a lot of bingo lately, which suggested to her that Cherie was trying to work off some debt. Good luck with that. Oh, and Nancy threw her back out, lifting her overweight dachshunds up and down her steps. Lucia tried to warn her. She said, "Put those damn dogs on a diet." But they had to have their ice cream. Every night, still do. I wanted to make that visit special. So I brought a styrofoam case of iced down Tecate beer. Oh man, that combination of salt and lime and carbonated coldness just put my mind in a swirling sense of sensation. Lucia emerged from the trailer and noticed that I was sipping distractedly at the rim of my beer can. And she said, "Hey," to train my attention back onto her. "You like Tecate? I never did." We laughed at the irony of how a Mexican could not like a popular Mexican beer, and I, an American, a Midwesterner no less, did. She started digging through the pockets of her summer frock. First one pocket, then another pocket, and then she found what she was looking for. She pressed a cold, grimy object into the palm of my hand, and then with her hands kind of folded them over it, one on top and one on the bottom, like a sarcophagus. And she said, "This," raising and lowering our hands for dramatic effect, "this is worth a lot of money." Well, I inspected the object and noticed that it was a miniature Tecate beer can salt shaker. I wondered at the faint rattling sound. It was made in Mexico, she said, as if it's imported value added, something. Take it to the flea market, you'll see. Well, my curiosity got the best of me. I popped off the plastic top, and what I saw in that can gave me the shivers. Piled at the bottom was a collection of exoskeletons, like a pair of cockroach wings, 3 flies, and the tail end of a scorpion. Ugh. Like, how did they get in there? Did they crawl through the holes, or was somebody actually collecting them? If you had the whole set, she said, the salt and the pepper, you could really make some money. Oh no, I said, this is an heirloom, a gift from you. I will never sell it. Thank you so much. And we started laughing again. After 3 years, we got each other's humor. And we understood that we were both the butts of this joke. After an award-winning 3 years of being her daughter's girlfriend, I was as close as she would come to having a daughter-in-law. And at the end of this 3-year romance that was about to end, this miniature Tecate beer can salt shaker heirloom was as close as I would get to her tangible acceptance. This was our moment of saying goodbye, without really saying goodbye. The drive from the border back to my San Antonio apartment seemed to go by quicker than usual. The full moon, the moon of completion, was rising. I felt free, and I felt good about ending the relationship with Blue. A little sad too, though. This was my first mature relationship, but I felt guided by my internal compass. We shared so much. Like, for 3 years, we were each other's person. We shaped and shared a reality, coded glances, inside jokes, and we shared a love for Lucia, Blue's mom. Once inside my apartment, I took my heirloom and put it right on the bookshelf. In between my crystal clear quartz crystals that I had found in Big Ben and polished up, and the plastic wind-up walking soccer ball that my 4th period English students had given me on the last day of school. Truly a place of honor. I paused with my hand on the light switch, and I panned the living room, looking for my heirlooms someday that I might pass along. What would be my version of the miniature Tecate beer can salt shaker heirloom? And what would it mean? Whenever I tell this story, people want to know about the salt shaker. Do you still have it? Is it worth a lot of money? And I have to tell you, as I get older, my relationship to stuff changes. I no longer need artifacts to prove a life well lived, because I'm living it. And after many, many years, Blue and I rekindled our friendship. So I didn't need the salt shaker. I donated it, exoskeletons and all, to the Smithsonian. And I wrote a letter suggesting that they place it in Julia Child's kitchen. right on the windowsill over the sink where Lucia had kept it. It was too precious, and I was too proud to keep it to myself. Thank you. I'd like to thank Eileen for some beautiful prose lines that I stole from her. I'd like to thank Deborah for her support and critique and feedback, and also Carolina for her coaching. Thank you.